All right. So this next caller, Richard, specifically wanted him to call back. He called in. He was the first caller last week. He's a skeptical paranormal investigator. Mark, you are on with Richard and Ethan. How are you doing today?
Hello.
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 How's it going, Mark?
Hello. How you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm honoured that Richard wanted to speak to me today. Fellow Brit, so all good.
Well, if I'm honest, I just wanted a familiar accent. That's the only reason I wanted to go.
Could you talk a little bit closer to the mic or a little bit louder, Mark?
Is it quite quiet?
Yeah, it's a little quiet.
Yeah. Should be. Let me just try and pop the other AirPod in a second. Technology these days.
In the meantime, I'd like to thank my top tier patrons of the channel: Cindy PLAZA, Left Right Left, Kenneth Leonard, Skye, JumpandShoot, Oz, Secular Rarity, Philip Leitch, Kaitlyn Beyond, Toast, Richard Gilliver, Sunset, Richard, that one, Sunset Sarge, Ameet Mathew, Ray Sylvester, and Kyle Brewer. Thank you so much for your patronage. Believe it or not, these call-in shows do cost money to run, so consider becoming a patron for just $1 a month. The link is in the description. It really does make a difference, and it allows me to continue to do this show each and every week. All right, you there, Mark?
Hello. Is it working? Am I good?
Yeah, that's a little better. All right, so
okay, excellent.
Richard, did you want to, since you invited Mark to call back, did you want to start this?
Yeah, I listened to your call last week, and I was very interested in a couple of things that you said, specifically around you being. I don't know if you were playing devil's advocate or not, and I was listening to the call, and there were a couple of things that
I was, yeah.
Yeah. So, what there was some things that you were saying about ghosts and things being scientifically compelling, and I want to go down that avenue with you and why you think that it's compelling. And was there a point when you said it was more compelling than God?
Well, I've obviously not gone into much detail with God because I know how much people can get offended. It was a sort of a throwaway thing where I basically said that, you know, I've had more things happen where I've said move that and it's moved, rather than go in, if there's a God, can you move something? But you know, God doesn't move stuff at will. It was more like that. I'm not suggesting that one or the other necessarily exists. I'm just saying that there is something going on.
So what do you think? What have you seen that is compelling? And I know you're a skeptic, so I'm not like kind of diving in and attacking you here. But what is it that you think is compelling about the things that you've experienced where things have moved?
Well, there's a big turning point for me. So me and my friend started a show called Haunted the Truth, and it was basically go out and try and debunk as many locations as possible in the most polite manner. And then we were invited to this person's house, and they come up with stories that you know, things being thrown at family members, kids having oranges chucked at them from the orange bowl, running across the top of the not the top of the house, the landing area, you know, etc., etc. I went round there, was like, oh, all right, okay, you know, it could be anything. I'll try and see if it's something. Started off quite quiet, and then there was just things happening which started to get to a point where I was like, well, that hasn't got a rational explanation off the top of my head. It isn't wind, it isn't this, and that. I'll give you a couple of examples. So there was whistling, which was like literally as if I'm doing it in the room with you. There was a door that was locked, and the entire door shook as if somebody was, like, if you imagine you're behind a locked door, that shook. Caught that on camera. there was a couple of knocks and bumps and bangs. Yeah, it's an old house and like stuff like that, expanding walls. I get it. But I've captured a toy coming out of one room through the air at such a force that it just hits this cabinet and smashes on the floor. Another toy on camera sat in the middle of the room, and it starts rocking at an angle 2 or 3 times, and then that goes over. And I took that same toy back on another occasion. It went over again, different place. And with all these, like, there was a camera on a tripod that went over. And I'm just going, well, there's definitely something that's doing this, because, you know, it would be stupid to say there's nothing doing this, because obviously I've just seen it with my own eyes. I got on camera. To, you know, for people that could be watching this, like, I could just say these things and they could say, oh, this is all ramblings of a madman. So for context, you would really need to see the video. But I'm just wondering what is actually going on. Like,
what? Where is the house located?
Part of a skeptic.
Like, I don't mean which area of Britain. I mean, kind of, is it in the middle of the countryside? Is it in a city? Is it next to a what we'd call a motorway, and those crazy Americans call freeways?
It's not. You know, sorry, I said Hillfield, but it's not. That's a different place. It's, you know, Bristol. For Americans,
I'm from like the north, and you're down on the peninsula. No idea.
If you imagine like the city centre, it's sort of suburb, like just outside of the city centre, houses, and you know, you go off and then there's like a little housing estate, that sort of thing. I have actually looked through some of this, because you might be going into like looking at the area, looking at the ground it's on and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. Where you going?
My first thought was actually kind of traffic, because I live about 3 miles away from a motorway, from the M1 motorway, and like stuff falls over in my house all the time, even from that distance, when like there's heavy traffic on the motorway, and that can be early in the morning. It doesn't necessarily have to be like at rush hour.
Yeah, okay, yeah. There is not a motorway within a close proximity to cause vibrations for things to fall over. And if you actually see the manner that some of the stuff does fall over, and the distance that some of these objects have come from, because I get the camera, I go pick that camera up, put it around that corner, make sure there's nobody bloody there. You can see there's a castle in that room, and the distance is full length of like your average UK house bedroom, like a master bedroom, comes out straight into the landing and smashes. That there's no, even if there was a motorway nearby, I don't think, you know, 17 trucks going by are going to cause. And I think I would know. I'd be in the house going, okay, that whole place just shook.
Did you check the kind of earthquake records?
Yes, and there was no tremors or anything like that. Nothing else fell in the house, because you would imagine that if in a situation of an earthquake, that something else is going to fall. Especially some of the precarious things that I had in place, they would definitely fall before a toy which is sat amongst a load of other toys on the table. And I'm talking a lot of toys. None of them fell. It literally.
Okay, so
there's no like underground running rail systems or anything either.
On that single point, and I don't want to get pedantic here, but on that single point, I've got a 5-year-old, and I've noticed on many occasions lots of toys being around and one falls over on its own. That's not unusual at all. Let's get off the kind of looking at in like answers for things, and what is your kind of idea as a skeptic about what it might be then, if it's, because earlier I'm sure you mentioned like ghosts and things, so why are you jumping from I can't find a rational explanation to ghost?
No, I believe the only reason that I mentioned the word ghost in the last show is because the questions were really aimed towards ghosts and stuff, and I, like you were saying, was playing devil's advocate to the people that do potentially believe in that type of thing. All I can go off is what I capture and witness in the moment, and what then look over the camera. I do know that, and I know in houses this can go off anyway, but I have been in situations in the middle of nowhere with EMS, like strong electrical magnetic fields going off, either before or after an incident. There was a place where I went where a stone hit me, and you know, I put the meter up against this stone and it was going off next to the stone. So I'm going, okay, so this is linked to some degree of high amount of electrical discharge or something like that. So I thought, can electrical discharge somehow, you know, throw a toy across a room, or, you know, knock a door, or manifest some sort of a sound? I'm no expert. I'm clutching at straws, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Do you use kind of? I don't know what words to use.
Forget. We do a Discord after show when it ends. So if you haven't joined my Discord yet, there is a link in the description of the YouTube video. We invite the hosts, producers, and then anyone else listening to come on and chat with us. That starts 5 minutes after this show ends. Sorry, Richard, go ahead.
Yeah. I've lost my train of thought.
My bad.
No, it's okay. I'll find something. I'll dig in and find something, I'm sure. So, oh yeah, the equipment. Are you using kind of the standard inverted quote things, ghost hunting equipment, or are you using like professional grade like?
Yeah, okay. With the expenses I've got, everything I do is for free. I'm a non-profitable person, so I've only got a K2 meter. I'm aware that those things, you know, could the battery be making them go off? My phone, I know, makes it go off. The only link that I had where I went, that's happening when that's happening, maybe there's some sort of correlation. Other than that, I have no idea how something can just, you know, how things can just seamlessly be happening. I watch a lot of Brian Cox, and I'm open one day, he just says something, and I go, yeah, that's it.
Not having an answer is sometimes really frustrating, isn't it?
But
especially when you're faced with people who are like have a heavy belief and they're throwing all these things. What about this? It can be really frustrating.
But it's okay to not have an answer, and it's okay to say I don't know.
It's okay not having an answer, but what I'm not happy with is when people fake stuff, and there's like massive YouTubers out there which are faking stuff and they've got loads of followers, and then there's me who's not faking stuff, and people then calling me out and going, oh, you rigged that, you faked that, because that's their only answer. Their only answer is, oh, well, it has to be make-believe, it has to be all rigged, it has to be fake. And I'm like, well, I don't actually believe in ghosts, so I don't see what your point is. Like, I'm just capturing something and going, what the hell is this?
So you don't in any way believe in ghosts?
I can't. It would be ignorant of me to turn around and say ghosts exist until.
Sorry, you got quiet again.
Point, you know, I said it would be stupid of me to turn around and say ghosts are real. Without having the evidence to suggest they are. What I can say is the things I've witnessed display the mannerisms of what ghosts are portrayed as within the paranormal media and films and all that sort of thing. So I can understand why people call them ghosts, but until the day something physically manifests in front of me, or something serious happens to the point where I go, that's a ghost, then I'm not going to turn around and say that they are.
I think that can be part of the difficulty, the kind of way that they're portrayed in the media, because if you have a look back over the kind of different, not just in the Western culture, but over different cultures as well, ghosts have changed the way they manifest over time and geographically. And it seems to me that this kind of modern phenomena of what we kind of consider ghost activity now is a product of kind of from like the 19th century onwards and popular media portrayal. So what we're calling like ghost activity. I've been a skeptic on a ghost hunting team. I've felt those weird, like spider webby feelings that people consider to be signs of ghosts. I've no indication whatsoever that that's an actual sign of a ghost. It's just something that has grown up over time.
No. A lot of it is math theory as well.
We only got a couple minutes left. Richard, anything else you wanted to dig into from his call last week?
No, I've really enjoyed talking to you. I'm really, really happy, especially given the ridiculous time it is over here in the UK.
It's like 2 a.m.
the time to call back. I appreciate that.
And can I say, Richard, and anyone else for that matter, if you really want to know what I'm saying, because it's all just words, you need to see the video, and I would love for you to see it, get back to me and be like, I think it's actually this. Now, given some of it is, you could say that, you could say this, but there are points in the video. It's the Poltergeist episodes on my channel, hauntedthetruth.co.uk, and it's, I'd love to see what you have to say, because me just telling the story is not the same as you seeing it yourself with your own eyes.
Right. And you have if you want to just tell us your YouTube channel again for anyone watching if they're interested.
It's hauntedthetruth.co.uk. I'll post it in the chat as well, to the actual videos, so people don't get confused.
Cool.
Yeah,
post it in the chat. Mark, thank you so much for taking the time out to give us a call.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No worries, guys.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.